All right, what do we need to be able to do tonight? If I take this if-then statement, can I write the initial conditional? Can I write the converse, the inverse, and the contrapositive? Now, the key to these, that makes them a lot easier, is you start off by thinking of them as having a P and a Q. So there's my P, and here would be my Q. Those are the two ideas I'm linking together. And I'm going to try to switch my color around to make it a little more obvious which is which. So my initial statement, if an animal is a cat, then it has 4 paws. In general, is that true or false? Yeah. With the exception of, mutations at birth, cats have 4 paws. Okay. It is true, dogs do too, but that's not what the statement's about. And if you're looking for a counterexample, you would need to find a case of a cat that does not have 4 paws. Now, those do exist. Yeah, we can find the anomaly. But as a general rule, healthy cats have 4 paws. When I go to write, that's my initial conditional. Let's go ahead and talk about the converse. From what we've said, what do I do with the converse? I switch. So what's going to come after the word if? Right. So if it has 4 paws, so that's my Q, then it's cat. P. So Q goes to P now. That's the converse. Is that generally true or false? Can you find me an animal with 4 paws that's not a cat? Yeah. Dogs, lions, that's kind of cat. Tigers, bears, oh my. Let's talk inverse. Go back to your rules. What am I doing with the inverse? I'm negating stuff. So I want to talk about not P. So if it's not a cat, then it does not have 4 paws. Then not 4 paws. I'm abbreviating my English here. Apologize to those that don't care for that. And these nots are what make it the inverse. Everything's still in the same order. I just added the word not into the picture. Last but not least, we talked about the contrapositive. That's what I want. It's contrapositive. Hey, before I do the contrapositive, is this statement generally true or false? If I have something that's not a cat, does it usually not have 4 paws? What? That's false. Doesn't matter, but the statement was, if it's not a cat, then it does not have 4 paws. So can I think of something that's not a cat, so the if is true? Sure, dogs. Not 4 paws. No dogs have 4 paws. So that's my counter. Now a fish is not a cat, but it also does not have 4 paws. That supports the statement. The counterexample has to be if the if part is true, so not a cat, then part is false. So not 4 paws, false is has 4 paws. So like a dog would work, bear might work. Any of those things that does have the 4 paws would work as long as it's not a cat. Now the contrapositive, I switch and negate both. So if I say if not having, well, let me start that thought over. If it does not have 4 paws, then not a cat. Is that generally true or false? True. If I take a look, if I think about this, every time I have a situation where I have an animal that does not have 4 paws, can that ever be a cat? Generally, no. There's another way that I like to look at this, but I'm not sure. Go back to that Venn diagram. I have two groups. Cats are inside the four-paw group. So if it's a cat, so if it's inside this group here, then it's inside the four-paw group. And then you can use this as a tool to help evaluate these other statements as true or false. Converse, if it's in the four-paw group, does it have to be in the cat group? No. If it's not in the cat group, does it have to not be in the four-paw group? No, it could be right there. And then finally, if it's not in the four-paw group, can it be in the cat group? No. And that's kind of where we're going to start this. Most of the work tonight is tied to take that initial conditional and write all of these variations on it. Then kind of think, does it make sense for each of these guys to be true or false? There are cases where you're going to have all four of these statements as true. And those are very special, important cases. Right. Initial statement, converse, inverse, and contrapositive.
Okay.
Those are the four that we talk about. Usually the initial is given, so you need to write the other three.
Okay.
Like this guy. If we're talking about an adult insect has 6 legs, what's the converse? Okay, so this is saying that 6 legs implies insect. That's the converse. I've switched the if and the then. Is that true?
No.
Okay, what's the counterexample? Counterexample is a case where it has 6 legs, but it's not an insect. What would that be? Spiders have 8 legs. Ants are insects. Everyone's like, oh crap! I know there's got to be something. Caterpillars are an exception that they don't technically have legs. Hey guys? Guys? Alright. Here's the thing. In this case, both of those are true. It does happen that a statement and its converse are both true. What's up? A centipede is technically something else. Because a centipede does not have an exoskeleton. So it falls into a different category. But I'm not a biology teacher and I can't talk to that.